and welcome back for another lap guide video on the Coach Dev Academy YouTube channel. My name's Bart, and today I'll be taking you for a lap guide in the iRacing FIO4 car on the Okayama circuit. Here's my hot lap. All right, head down into the first corner now at Okayama. Kind of tricky corner this. It's this so-called medium speed right-hander. There's not a very big exit afterwards, so your exit speed is not very important. The main priority for this first corner here is mainly just making sure we get all the way back over to the right on the exit, and that we push the braking a lot on the so really important to brake late here. Braking reference for me, you've got the safety car line where the white line is here on the pit exit. That's a pretty good reference. You also have the 100 board and you have the Marshall's Tower on the left. So within those, you should be able to find a pretty good braking mark for yourself. You can see I'm braking a bit before the white line here. Down into third gear, you should try and meet this curb towards the end of it. Now with this new 3D curbing, the curves are a little bit harsher around this track, which we'll get on as we go around the lap. But main thing is with the first corner here is don't be too early on this entry curve. It's very easy to be in early here. I'd say that's the main trap with this corner is people try to meet the curb there. No, you should be late enough and carry enough speed that you don't get to the white line around back here somewhere. As we see there, kind of the end of that inside curb. If you're early here, you tend to pick up throttle early and get like really bad understeer, horrendous understeer, and you're pointing that way or this way, and you don't really want to be doing that. We want to be getting around the back and preparing for the next section. All right, so full throttle, out in third. If you're on the limit and you've got that right, it should nicely push you to the white line here, just about the end of the curb, not earlier than that. All right, back to the right. Don't be lazy. Get back to the right-hand side of the track. Don't give away free lap time. Make sure you check on the video. If you think, oh, I'm on the white line, go check on your video. Make sure you're actually doing it. The amount of times people aren't actually. So, yeah, or maybe just a view so you can see where your tires are. Get to the white line here. At least a car length, ideally, before we actually turn in, before this entry. I don't know what to call it. Let's call it the escape road, basically. This is where the shorter layout goes here on the right-hand side. So with that as a reference, that's kind of where you turn in and start lifting from. Very small brake. You see, I put on barely any brake pressure here. It's like nothing. And that, to be honest, is just an iRacing thing with this car to try and get it to turn a little bit. Put a little bit of weight on the front just by tapping the brake pedal. Just because I'm a little bit afraid of some understeer here. But really, it's just a lift. You're completely okay to do that with a lift. I wouldn't have a proper brake into here, ever. Never like 20, 30%. Just a graze on the brake pedal or to help it get a turn if you're struggling with the front, pushing on, just sliding. You can't get it in towards the inside curb. And it really should just be a lift, okay? Full lift for sure. Get to throttle before you reach the inside curb as it starts to grip up. You shouldn't be all over this curb. You used to be able to hook on it more aggressively. Now, 3D curbing, don't do that. Just clip it. Yep. Force down to the exit curb. This curb now is horrendous. By that I mean if you run like the floor, so the center of the car over this higher edge of the curb or the right tires like, over into the gravel, you like you'll be okay, but you get stuck on it and you lose so much time down the hill. The car's not actually accelerating; it's just dragging the floor along the curb. So just nicely run out so that your right tires run up against the side of the curb. All right, here, not much going on, not real corners. Just make sure you're over to the left in the white line, braking into this long banked right-hander. So pretty cool corner this, quite unique. Main thing here, like I said, ignore that whole section. Just try and keep it as straight as possible. Distance. Be straight for this, please. White line. Simple stuff. Let's get that right first. Braking. A bit before the 50-meter board, you also have where the grass gets less green or kind of dries up a little bit here. So that's kind of a reference as well. You want it. So yeah, about 75 meters here. Let's say 70 meters, thereabouts. Braking. Very hard hit, but short. Okay. So smack the crap out of the brake pedal, but just not for very long. Hit high pressure. Down to third, because it's not that slow a corner. Down to third. Turn in. You want to turn in fairly early here. By that, I don't mean, oh, let's just go over the curb and grass, enjoy ourselves over there. No, let's actually, not just smash into the inside curb, but fairly early in terms of we don't need to go deep and cut back or anything like that. It's not like a proper hairpin. You need to get in and utilize the grip around this part of the corner where the camber is helping us a bit more. You can see it's banked. Because as we go out of the corner, if this was a normal flat corner, or a normally shaped corner, you'd feel like, oh, you're going to understeer an exit. But it's such a long corner and wide corner on the exit that you really need to attack the entry here and get on throttle much earlier than it feels like you can normally. So you can see at this point, I'm almost off the brake. I'm on the throttle now already, just before I reach the white line on the inside. Full throttle. It's nice if you can get to the inside. You don't have to. It's more important here to push the braking, carry speed. Get to full throttle. Again, don't worry about distance. You can actually run wider than this as well. There's kind of two ways you can do this corner. You can do it like that, where you get it into the white line, get on throttle nicely and let the car out. Or you can kind of carry more speed, take a wider line, and you'll take more distance, which will be slower initially, but you'll be a little bit faster down the end of the straight because you've kind of carried more up the speed. But it's going to be a bit harder on tires. There's kind of two ways you can kind of do that corner, but for me, it's easier just to stop, turn, do it more traditional kind of way, let's say. All right. So pretty boring straight here. Get to the left-hand side nice and early. Braking reference, you have the 50-meter board. Very good braking reference here along that Marshall's tower on the left. Braking about 60, 70 meters. This is a very hard braking zone, almost 100% brake pressure. Hold fifth gear down to second, late second gear. Biggest thing to watch for in this braking zone is the fact that the track dips away and goes into like a cambered bank. So this point, it's a normal standard straight braking zone. You're just trying to be as efficient as possible, maintain pressure, keep wheels. That's it. It's not a hard job. To the simple. As you go down the hill here, your front tire is going to want to lock up. The reason for that is because basically the tires are on the road, they're on the road, and the road's dropping away. So what happens? Your front tires go to the top. Suddenly, there's no road under them. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but then your tires lock up. There's no because they're not pressing. So, because you're going to be fighting front locking here, you can't brake as hard at that point. So you'll see. I reach this point. When it starts to go downhill, I immediately come with the brakes. I'm also having to turn at this point just because it's a banked corner. But again, because you can't really brake at this point, or you should have done most of your braking back there where you were hitting the brake very hard, I hope, in a straight line, it's better to just start turning in. Use the camber. Okay, the car's not going to stop as well now because I'm going down the hill. I'm just going to rotate the car, kind of just throw it into the camber. The camber's attachment. At least that's how I kind of feel when I go into a corner like this. Down to second gear. At this point, you'll be going out a second after you go over this little crest. Down a second gear. Drop off the brake. Don't be in early here, okay? You're aiming to meet the white line around here somewhere. Do not be in early. So when you look at this corner on the entry, do not think, oh, I need to stop for that. No, brake late. I need to go into this camber. Use the camber properly. Run up to this point and cut back. Run deep, cut back. It's better to miss the apex or never make it than it is to make it late on the brake, I hope. If you're on throttle early here, and this is part of the reason why, if you're on throttle early here, it's a bad punishment, yeah? Because you're going to end up out here, and you're going to be very tight for that. It's not a good scenario. So, much better like this. We've done a good job. We've been late to meet the inside curb. We're now full throttle. We could have been full throttle a little bit earlier, but we want to prepare because we're smart. So we're going to prepare for the next section that's coming up. Get the car over to the right-hand side of the track. Right tires on the white line. Yeah? And not lazy. Get over. There we go. soft brake to get the car turned in for this really tricky downhill left. Easy to lock up or slide the car in the entry here. Biggest way to avoid that is do the braking now before the track kind of drops away from us, a bit like the previous year. Play it smart. Drop off the brake as soon as you roll into that camber. Pick up throttle just to settle it. You can't take that curb as much as you used to be able to. Again, the new 3D curbs are a bit harsher here. So we just get the car tucked into the camber, left tire there, full throttle, run the car out. This is not an off track, amazingly. So there you go. As long as your left tires are on the red and white, I think it's okay. This is pretty much the limit, though. Let's say where I've got the middle of the car on the green, but this is okay apparently. So all good. Full throttle in third gear at this point. Braking. The main thing for me is I just try to be straight with this braking on this curb in terms of, okay, I've got the car straight. I don't have to swerve around this, or if I start braking in a straight line, I'm not going to go into the grass, or I'm not over that. So I don't tell anyone. I'm trying to be as straight as possible. Just to get this little short braking zone here. Right tires on this entry curb. Brake, nice and soft. Car's going to want to move around a little bit. Main thing here I found is just being very smooth. So smooth on the brake, and then smooth on the steering, smooth on the throttle. Very easy to lose the rear here. I found in general. So just hold third, be smooth with the car, trying to roll speed. Just kiss the white line inside. You don't want to be all over the inside curve. It'll unsettle the car. You don't want to be wide of it. Just kiss the white line. Full throttle as early as you can. Feed it out. Again, just nicely run your right tires onto that exit curb. Don't want to be too much on that curb. All right. Keep it on the right-hand side. Be careful. Just after the 50 mid-board, hit the brake. A bit tricky for references here, but hey-ho. You know, you got the marshal's hut. You got the 50 meter board. Enough. Hit the brake just off the board. Hard braking, but again, short because you got to start turning in. So at this point, you can see I focus on braking efficiency at this point. Brake hard, brake hard, brake hard, brake hard. Bleed off the brake. I've got to turn to the corner now. And similar to that right-hander at the end of the back straight we were talking about before, don't try to kiss like the inside curb here. Try to run it in a bit deeper and cut back. This isn't banked, but this is more of a traditional hairpin. Brake into the corner, rotate the car. Now I'm off the brake. Get on the throttle. We don't need to really stay too tight here. Push the car out, carry some speed, get back to the left-hand side. You don't need to get back to the white line here. The camber kind of helps you a bit, and the way the rubber is, if you're not quite there, but let's say half a car away from the right side, it's all a compromise. Though you know, the more you push that previous left, the more you're going to hurt here. So it's all about how fast can I be through this total section. But the best thing you can do is that previous corner, like we said, just be efficient on the brakes and be late. You try and be really late in that section so you can push the car wider. All right, prepare the car here, get it back to the left. Down to second gear. Very easy to lock up here because we're not going very fast and we're not very straight on the brakes. There's not really much we can do. You can see I kind of turn, hit a bit of brake pressure, and then bleed off the brake. Not much, about 15%. The brake is mainly being used here to turn the car, yeah? So when we brake, we pitch the nose, so the nose dives down, we get more grip onto the front axle. It's going to help us turn the car. That's the only reason really just get some rotation, turn in, pick up a bit of throttle, start putting the weight back on the rear. You just want to meet the white line towards the second half of this curve. That's about your reference there. You should deviate from it. So you should be forced to leave the white line just as that curve ends. That's your reference there. Force yourself out all the way onto that exit curve. Easy to go wide there. Watch out for that. Flat out through this right. No issues here. Don't take the inside curve. You don't need to take it. Don't take it. It'll upset the car. Let the car run out here. Make sure you reach the white line. Nice and square. Brake. Don't brake and turn here. Brake, wait, and then rotate the car. Very easy to just start diving towards the inside here. I'm going to brake and turn, and I'll just lock up and run deep or turn early. So just calm, brake, off the brake, nice and smooth. I tried third. Start in third if you're inexperienced with this track or the car. I do think fourth was better, as you can see on this lap, but it was very close between third and fourth. I just felt like with fourth, even though it feels like the car doesn't rotate very well, in third, you're shifting straight back up on the exit, and it always slows the car down too much on the entry. So it's really tight between those two gears here. It's almost really annoying in that way. But for me, I preferred fourth. Get the car, use the brake, come off the brake, carry the speed in, rotate the car, full throttle now. Use the inside curb bit, run out here. You can use all the curbing here, no problems. Just keep your left tires, add the gravel trap, get back over. Don't stay on that curb for too long. So don't just like sit here happy, I'm happy on the curb, because it's slowing you down a bit. It's touching the bottom of the car. Get back over, keep the car on the left-hand side, and that's a lap at Okayama. Okay, so that just about finishes it up for us today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And you can also find the Coach Dave Academy Discord in the YouTube video description. My name's Bart, and I'll see you next week. See ya.